Hey everyone, welcome to what is now week number 8 of the community build challenges. My name is Tree and thank you very much for joining us once again. So yeah, we're back. Thank you very much for everyone that's caught the first 7, but today is probably the most challenging one color block palette wise, but we'll get straight to it. So as usual, you guys will pick the block palette, the build type, and then the biome, and I get to build it. So yeah, let's take a little look at what the block palette is going to be like today. All right, here we go. Today's block palette includes basalt variations, coral variations, and then at the end some tough, mossy cobblestone, and some iron variations. So this is a very grey palette, and I wasn't too sure how this one was going to come together because obviously they're very similar in tones, and you can obviously get a little bit of gradient, but there's not really a standout colour here. So this is going to be a tough one to make. And you also voted for me to make an ancient temple. Thanks for that. That's something I had a few ideas for. But thank you very much for everyone who did vote. Again, once more, the voting is all done in the Discord, so much appreciated for all the votes and people commenting during the live streams on Twitch. Again, we do these most Wednesdays. We're about 10 weeks in, we're 8 builds, so we've only missed like 2 weeks, so it's been not too bad. So this one's going to be a bit of an interesting one to do, and then we also voted for, you guessed it, to build in an ancient city. So that was our biome or / location of choice for today. So I'll just hop down there just now and show you where we're going to be building. Thanks for that, Tree. And here we are. We're at the front of an ancient temple. So yeah, we'll build it in here. I think I'm going to struggle with the colors, to be brutally honest. I think the grey and the grey could be tough, but yeah, I'll leave you to decide. So here's the video of the time lapse. Once more, I'll talk over what we went through, the building techniques, and just some of the things that I found may have been an issue, but yeah, it's fine. Right, have fun. Enjoy this build. This is an ancient temple in an ancient city built using basalt, coral, and some other mossy cobblestone and tuff. Enjoy. Let's dive right into it then, boys and girls. So here we have it. We are in an ancient city building an ancient temple. Must say, obviously, firstly, before we always get started, thank you very much for those who have been subscribing on YouTube. We are almost at 500, so thank you very much. All those that comment and share, it's very much appreciated your support. These have been really a big hit on Twitch. There've been a lot of sort of community involvement, tips, suggestions, ideas, and it's very, very kind. Especially some of the things like, hey Stuart, I never thought to use coral in that way. That color palette's really nice. It is something that's very different, and that's the reason why we're doing these, is to try and push myself as a builder. I've said it numerous times, but it really is, using things like coral blocks is really, really different. It's not something I think I've ever really included on a build before, but being able to use it in builds like this, it makes it a little bit more, variant. It gives us a little bit more chance to experiment and then actually pull these things into SMP servers or hardcore worlds or whatever we're doing. I think it's going to be a way of being able to elevate my building and really help me. So you can see here we actually started off with the bridge at the front of the temple. We used a lot of the primary block palettes there, as well as andesite actually. I forgot to mention that in the intro. We used quite a bit of andesite here. But we had both walls up at either side. And what we're going to put in is a central temple idea where there'll be something within that. And there'll be obviously people could add their own lore to this if they wanted to. But once you come across the bridge, you could go around to the right or around to the left. And obviously because it's an ancient temple, not everything's going to be here. A lot of the buildings are not going to be here. It's just integrated in. And I think if I was to maybe make this out of deep slate, I think it would actually work really well in the ancient city. I think it would actually work really well into it. And there's sometimes that we added some of the sculk blocks actually into it as well to kind of make it feel like it's meant to be here. I didn't want it to sit kind of separate. Using the basalt variations, you can see with the basalt we used the way in which the texture is on the block to give us that sort of pillar effect. So it's quite a clever way of being able to create a pillar with some really nice effects. The end of the block has that sort of cinnamon kind of look and feel about it. So we use those as well on certain endpoints to kind of make it look really nice. A bit like sort of Greek colosseums. We really like the sort of the effect that those give off. The basalt variations are really good here too for gradient and patterns. This one took me about 3.5 hours to make, and I honestly think if I had longer, I'd maybe spend a bit more time on the gradients and the patterns, because there's a lot of grey here, and I think you just had to get them really in the right order. And you can actually see me here changing a couple of the block palettes as I went on. I actually changed these to later be a basalt. polished basalt instead of just like the normal basalt block on the top of these towers on the right. Again, using a little bit of world edit, I was able to copy paste that from right to left. We also used the flip command also to kind of put it on the left hand side here. And that's one thing we've certainly been getting better at is world edit. But there is something slightly further on that gave me a giggle. Unfortunately, I put in the wrong command and did something a bit weird. But you'll see that just in a second, maybe where the towers get replicated. There, yep, and there, and over there. That was my fault. I wasn't paying attention to what I was actually copying and pasting. So, but it's good. Yeah, some other things again, just kind of going to the front of the build. Although we've got the main blocks themselves, I wanted it to be into the scenery a little bit more. So here's where you've seen the skulk I was talking about. We integrated that into the build here, just to make it feel like it's more meant to be here. And again, if I had the chance to build this again, I would probably make it, instead of basalt, I'd make it out of deep slate. So again, it just fits into the scenery a little bit more and added a bit more of the wood variations down here, like oak or dark oak, something like that. The roof was a dome-shaped dome. Luckily, I've built quite a few of these in the past on Kingdom Craft and on a couple other servers. So I had a rough idea of what to do, so I kind of churned this out super quick and tried to make it stand out by using that basalt again on the northeast west sides to try and make it sort of stand out a little bit more, as well as adding the mossy cobblestone walls, the iron fences up there too, to try and kind of make it stand out. It's very difficult against the deep slate background, I think. So for me, this one doesn't stand out as much as maybe some of the builds we've done, but I think technically it's not too bad. But once we started to add the vines in here, that's when it starts to turn ancient for me. As I imagine if this was in the bottom of a jungle, for example, this would work really well in a jungle biome. So yeah, if you want to download these builds, they will become available in the new year. So in the start of 2023, all these builds will be available for my Patreons through tiers, I think 1 through 4, I can't remember. All the information will be found on my Patreon or in my Discord. And yeah, I'd love to maybe see someone put this into a jungle biome, for example. I think it could look pretty good. So here we come nearly to near to the end of the build now. We started to add the tree on the right hand side here. Now I had an idea that the tree should swoop round the build, so kind of working from the water by using the dark wood, stripped dark wood, and also the mangrove roots to kind of give it that feel, kind of swooping around the build and sort of integrating into it, before later turning it into a cherry blossom tree. So thanks for the suggestions on Twitch for that one. We wanted to turn it into a cherry blossom tree. I've made a few cherry blossom trees before, but we used the concrete, pink wool, pink glass, and then some of the glazed terracotta. Putting in a bit of shroom lights to make the colour pop. And we can see actually here on the left-hand side, we did a slightly smaller one. Again, just planning the outline and the shape before then filling in the actual leaves. And again, with the colour, the glass, the glaze, and the shrooms to again give it the look and feel that we want. Again, if I had more time, I could probably make this a bit more sort of realistic, more like a tree that you see actually in the Minecraft world. But again, just didn't really have the time. But we'll come up to the end here. Let's just kind of swoop down the front as we come through the ancient city. I think this looks stellar. I was really, really happy with how this one come across. So when you pop out the other end here, you can really imagine how the temple should really be here. This is almost like the warden's better half could live here, for example, if they were to be together. But this has been an interesting build. So again, thank you very much all for watching. As I said, I like this one in the end. I know the colours don't really blend in well to the background, but this thing stands out really well. Even in like a jungle biome or maybe a spruce forest, I think this build could work really well elsewhere. So yeah, so I was really happy with this one. As we can see, we can kind of flip around here and you can kind of see it a little bit better. The bridge itself kind of worked in really nicely to the environment. We dug a little bit out using the world edit, and obviously put the seagrass and stuff in it too, to kind of make it look a bit nicer. The use of the mossy cobblestone, you can see that kind of here into the side of the build, as well as the mangrove roots as well. Just really add to the effect on either side. Just kind of walking up to the build, you can obviously see if we fly into the inside here. We added a little bit more of the berries, well, the glow berries, sorry. And then obviously with the beams, I think they just look really nice with that basalt variation. There's our cherry blossom tree to one side. I put the spore blossoms in as well. I thought they would be kind of a nice little effect. And then if you go further to the other side, you can actually see the slightly larger tree on this side, kind of swooping round. Branches are coming down. Yeah, so this one, yeah, definitely in a jungle or something would look pretty sweet. I think. But yeah, I am super, super happy with this one. There's the ancient city sort of main, well, did we call it a portal? Yeah, well, we can leave that for the comments to decide what this place actually is for and what it is for a future update. But there we have it. Thank you very much once again for watching, guys. This has been an incredible one. This is the 8th week. The next one will probably be a Christmas build, so look out for that. Jingle bells all the way. Voting in the Discord will open in basically now. If you want to jump in and check out that, you can get your votes in for this week's build, including the block palette and so forth. And that'll be probably the last one for 2022. But until then, again, thank you very much, everybody. If you have subscribed, much appreciated. If you haven't, thank you very much. If you do, if you have any comments, drop them down below, especially if you have any block palettes you'd like to see me use in the future. Please give us your suggestions and I'll chuck them in for voting for the next few videos. Right, my name has been Tree. Thank you very much for watching, and this was the ancient temple in an ancient city, and it's very, very nice to have you along. Thank you and goodbye.